Eric E.B. Bannon, coming to you live from the Big Beach in beautiful Gulf Shores, Alabama. Sit back, slip off those work shoes, put your toes in the warm sugar sand while listening to original trop rock music. We'll have a drink recipe, a happy hour toast, and maybe even have a live performance or two right here on Radio A18 Music for the Road to Paradise.
Once you get here, you're gonna want to stay. Small town, big beach, sugar sand underneath your feet. No stress, it's hard to beat. Small town, big beach.
All right, this is Eric E.B. Babbitt, and we are broadcasting live from the Big Beach. Have a great crowd out here today. All right, that's a big crowd. They're all here to see our featured artist, Mr. Matt HOGGATT. Before I let him talk it all, I'm going to talk about him a little bit. Army soldier, police detective, most dangerous job in America right now, a Bourbon Street performer.
Oh, that's about equal, actually.
First place in a American Songwriter Magazine contest, which ended up leading to him playing with Buffett.
You're doing good.
And also Mailboat Records signed you up.
Yeah.
So that's was your big break at that point.
That's it.
In 2014, he released an album entitled Workaholic and Recovery, and that was produced by Keith Sykes.
Yeah.
Outstanding. And he's also, that album also features several artists such as Nadir Shakur, Tina Gullickson, Doyle Grisham, and Mac McAnally. And any good parent head knows all those names. And Matt titles his own, or calls his own music things like Americana comedy, trop rock country, folk rap, and I think we're going to hear some folk rap today, and mainstream music protest songs.
America.
And he also has a new thing he's working on. One is a new music compilation, which will be a bracelet thumb drive with over 40 songs, stories, and videos from all of his albums, including live tracks and narrations. That sounds pretty interesting.
Well, the Department of Corrections had a market on the ankle bracelet, so I had to go with the regular wrist bracelet. Theirs doesn't have music, it just has the shattered dreams of Americans.
And will the government track you if you're wearing that?
No, they will not track you.
Okay, good,
No.
okay. And another thing he's working on is something with SiriusXM to be a DJ.
That's right.
And he's going to broadcast from Biloxi or from the road during his travels. So it better not be airing at 4 p.m. Central on Fridays.
It's not.
Okay, good.
It's not.
We're going to have to rumble or something.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that.
Okay. And last but not least, something else he's working on, or has done, is he's the voice of Margaritaville, Biloxi. If you give him a call and press 1, you're going to hear Matt. So when you do that, make sure when the lady answers, say, no, put me back on hold, so you can hear some more Matt. Just give you an idea of what that may sound like.
Thank you for calling Margaritaville, Biloxi. Press 1 for reservations. Press 2 for human resources. You are being transferred to reservations.
Thank you for calling the Margaritaville Resort Biloxi. All operators are currently busy assisting other guests. Please sit back and relax, and we'll be with you shortly. While you're here, check out Escape, a 55,000 square foot family entertainment center featuring hundreds of the most popular arcade games, a 48-foot volcano rock climbing wall, the nation's first indoor zipline roller coaster, ropes courses, boutique bowling, and multi-game simulator.
All right, so you get the idea. That's Matt just started. How long does that go on?
It's about a 5 to 6 minute script, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot of talking.
I wanted to do it in true to form Pakistani was, hello, thank you for calling, have you tried unplugging your system? They shot that down right off the bat. Yeah.
All right, before we get on with the interview portion, we're going to try something a little different because when Brent was here, the crowd was a little quiet at first because they weren't drunk yet.
Is this going to hurt at all?
I hope not.
Okay.
We're going to start with the drink recipe. The drink recipe is called Winky Winky Winky. And is Laura here yet?
Is it a political drink?
It is not a political drink.
Okay.
But it has 3 parts blueberry vodka, 2 parts cranberry juice, 2 parts pineapple juice, 1 part grenadine, and a splash of lime juice. And I'm sad to say I've learned I need to test my drinks before I put it out on the internet because this is not one of the better ones. But the good news is everybody gets to drink it. So help yourself to the drink. It's right over here. There's some cups right next to that. And now we can get on with the interview portion. All right, so I broke your career down to pre-2012 and post-2012.
Right, yeah, okay, you
Because
sure did.
2012 was a big year for you, right?
Yes, it was very big, yeah.
Right. So what was going on in your life prior to 2012? What were you up to?
Well, I was just working full time and I was playing musical gigs at places. Not nearly as cool as the place we're at today with you on your radio show.
Oh, thank you.
And I was playing songs like the one you got signed up here that says "No Wagon Wheel Allowed." I was playing the hell out of Wagon Wheel. Actually, I wasn't. That's not true. That song wasn't out yet. Can we edit that? But I was playing songs just as bad. And I was playing in, honky tonks and cellar bars and bowling alleys and things. And that's what I was doing, just trying to make a little extra money. And I was writing songs, and I would get into songwriting contests. And that's kind of what I had going on at the time. That's about as far as I'd gotten. But I'd been up to Nashville and come back and gone back up there and come back. And, Toby Keith wasn't looking for me. Nobody knew who I was.
Wasn't looking for you?
Wasn't looking for me at all, no.
You weren't wearing your bracelet?
Didn't have bracelet, didn't have any chili, no skinny beer. None of that was going on. It was dark times, Eric, dark times.
Dark. So in 2012, of course, what happened then?
Well, I had written this little song about Jimmy Buffett that I would do at shows. Like as the night got later, I'd kind of do funny songs and weird songs. And I'd written this song about Jimmy Buffett. I didn't think it was really any kind of masterpiece or anything. But I had been entering a contest in American Songwriter magazine. I had won 3rd place in it the year before. And I was sending in all these dark, deep songs about, like, what does love feel like when love knocks on your door in the depth of the sea? And, all these deep, dark things and poetic stuff, that probably should have been used as toilet paper. And I was not winning any contests. And I said, well, I'm going to send them a song that I don't think will win and see what happens with that. So I sent them this song about Jimmy Buffett, and I'd forgotten that I had sent it to him until I got an email from a lady, and she said, congratulations, you won. And I was like, what did I win? And who are you? And how'd you get this number? And come to find out, the daggum song had won this contest, and that started a snowball effect, I guess you could say.
Right. And speaking, I want to do a little plug here. Speaking of songwriter contest, we got one going on over in Orange Beach and the Perdido Key area, and it is for songwriters, obviously, and it's a prize package worth about $10,000.
Probably over 10,000, yeah.
And you can get information on that if you are a songwriter at Gulf Coast Songwriter Shootout, GulfCoastSongwriterShootout.com. So look that up if you're a songwriter. All right, so how did that song and winning that contest affect your career?
Well, I'll tell you, it's kind of like, especially this contest you just mentioned, so many, if you live in a little small town, Pinochle, Arkansas, Bootstrap, Alabama, Broke Chainsaw, Louisiana, wherever you live. In my case, I live in a little town called Goshen, Mississippi, 8 hours away from Nashville, about equal amount of time to Atlanta, big music cities. You have got to get to those places if you're going to make it any kind of way in this world. Now, you might get lucky and end up on American Idol or something like that, but really you got to go to where those things are to get in the mix. And I was not able to get there all the time, so I would get in these song contests like the one you mentioned. And it's so important because that song contest doesn't have a zip code or a boundary. You can be anywhere in the world and enter that thing, and people that you need to be meeting and networking with anyway are going to hear your music. So I would tell anybody that's even thinking about it, definitely get in. If you're a songwriter, enter every song contest you can. I don't care what it's about. I did. That's how I got my face on a can of chili.
That's how I was going there.
And so anyway, I had won that American Songwriter contest, and the prize was I got a guitar and a prize package, and also had a video of myself singing that song on YouTube. I had about 14 views. That's me again on Monday, On Wednesday, I watched it twice. 2 buddies watched it. One told his mom about it, then my wife watched it, my kid watched it. And that's about the total I had on there. And, you know, so I wasn't what they call viral. I was more, you know, whatever the opposite of viral is. I guess you could say I had a healthy video, because nobody was watching it. One day I got up and I had 4,000 views on it. And I was like, what in the world just happened? You know, usually it's the bear jumping on the trampoline video, or, you know, the cat licking a window or something. It's all the views. So I was like, what in the world was going on? And I checked my email, and at the same time I realized that somebody had linked my video to a webpage called buffettnews.com. And I got this email from a guy that worked for Margaritaville, and all the email said was, hey, give me a call, JB likes your song. And he didn't even put his name on the damn email. He had a phone number, and I was like, I'm going to find out who sent me this joke, and I'm going to wring their neck, man, because that was just a terrible, you know, prank to play on somebody. So I Googled this guy's email address, and I found out he actually worked for Margaritaville. He was the president of Sirius, of the Radio Margaritaville channel at one time. And I reached out to him, and this guy said, yeah, Jimmy likes your music. Why don't you send him your songs? And I was like, usually in Nashville, somebody says that you send them about 2 or 3 songs. You don't want to wear them out. So I said, how many would you like? So just send me whatever you got. So I emailed that guy 30 times. I swear to God, I emailed 30 emails with 1 song in each email. And I said, my theory was, they're either going to hate me or they're going to do something with me. But either way, they know I got 30 songs, you know. And I didn't hear back from them for about a month. And I thought maybe I had shot that in the foot, you know. But I think it took them that long to check their email, because they had 30, you know, spam emails from some idiot in Mississippi. And that's what happened. Then they invited me to Birmingham, and of course, you know what happened there. So that's what got me up to that point.
And ended up, now you're on, like you said, a can of chili.
Yeah.
Do you want to promote that real quick?
I do. Do I need to use my chili voice?
Yes.
Hey y'all, you hungry? You know you hungry. Try V80 chili. God bless. That's the
And it's
commercial.
really nice. It's got your whole bio and a picture
Yeah.
on the side.
So I was entering the song contest. This was actually before the Jimmy Buffett thing happened. I would get on the internet. If you're a songwriter out there, here's how you make it famous. If you don't, you know, if you look like me and you don't live in Nashville, you need to get creative. So I'd get on the internet and I Google song contest, and this thing popped up for write a jingle for the V80 Chili Company. I've never heard of them, didn't know anything about it, but it was free. So I sat down and I wrote a jingle for their company, and I emailed it to them. And about a month later, they emailed me back and said, you won. And they said, you won an exciting prize package. I said, what could be exciting? I won a year's supply of canned chili. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, that was awesome. So, I mean, this temple of mine was built on canned chili. So, I won a year's supply of canned chili, and I got to perform my jingle at a Tennessee Titans game in Nashville, Tennessee. And I got to go to this VIP party, which, believe it or not, Eric, I know you're wondering, they had a lot of chili at the VIP party and beer. And so that's how that happened. And I didn't have my face on the can at the time, but over the next year or so, the V80 Chili Company, which is based in Nashville, developed their own little musical artist roster called V80 Vinyl, and they have several groups on there. The Grascals, the Bluegrass Band, are on it, and a bunch of other up-and-coming people and some more established folks. And they will take these artists and put them on the can to advertise the can, and then they'll also put them on a music show up in Nashville called Music City Roots. So I've written a couple more jingles for them since then. I've been able to travel up there and play with them. And they put me on their roster here a few months ago, and I got my face on the can of my favorite product, fat-free hot dog chili, man.
So how many cans have you signed?
I have not signed any. I'm waiting until today. Yeah.
Good. I'll have the only one then.
You can put it in a bowl. I'll sign the bowl.
And what is amazing, I'm looking at the nutrition facts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
10 calories and 0 calories from fat per serving.
That's right.
That's amazing.
We strive.
Skinny chili.
Skinny chili,
You should
man.
write a song.
I'm working on it. Yeah. I strive to keep my fans healthy.
All right, but in full disclosure, 1 serving is 1 tablespoon.
Yeah.
So there's that. So, the secret's out. You got to look at all the numbers, I guess.
It really is a fantastic product. I'm not just saying that. I make jokes about it because for a while I would survive on cheap foods, you know, on the road and whatnot. And It really is good. Put it on your hot dog. You know, throw it in a bowl. Throw it on your old lady. Throw it on your wife. Throw it on your husband. Put it right in his face. Don't matter. It's all good. America.
America.
That's right. Try the chili.
Another thing America has is a PBS channel.
They do.
And why do you think I'm bringing that up?
Well, I think if I had to guess, I think you just, you know what? I don't really have anything funny to say right there, Eric. I don't really know.
Oh, sorry about
Winky,
that.
winky, winky.
Winky, winky, winky.
Is this the drink right here?
It is. Oh, let's do a toast while you
Let's
got
do
the
it.
drink. All right. It's
my,
your toast, by the
and
way.
it's my birthday today.
Is it really?
Not really.
No. I fell for that one. Darn.
Every day's a birthday for somebody.
All right. You gonna do a toast or what?
I want to test it before I toast it.
Oh, man.
All right. Salute.
I thought it was holler swaller. What happened to that one?
It could, yeah, that comes later.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
That's a really good drink, man. Where'd you come up with this recipe? Winky,
I
winky,
made it up.
winky. Did a guy in a van tell it to you? It sounds like, hey, it's gonna be all right, little kids. I got candy. Winky, winky, winky. That's pretty good, man.
It's actually a way we used to harass my niece, and it's her wedding weekend. She's getting married tomorrow.
That's right.
Right here in
Where is she
Gulf
at
Shores,
here?
Alabama.
She's not here yet.
She's not even here yet.
Huh. Well, see how that marriage is gonna work out. Can't even show up for her own party. Wow.
All right.
Oh, what were you asking me? I'm so sorry.
Oh, well, the groom is here. We got
How you
James
doing, man?
over there.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, I mentioned, really, hopefully they can't hear that circular saw over the
Go there, shut that guy up.
It's the great thing about having a show outside. All right,
Yeah.
anyway, PBS. You have a PBS show or special that you did.
That's right,
Tell
I
us
sure
about
do.
that.
Yeah, I did some work. There's a great show channel on Mississippi on PBS called Mississippi Roads, and it basically they follow around different places around the state. It could be a restaurant or a festival or different things, I guess, that they find of interest, and they'll do documentaries on it. And the guy that is over at PBS, I'd kind of befriended him early on in the songwriting career. He's a great music lover. His name's Key Ivy. You should have him on the show sometime. He travels around, much like you. He's a mercenary for musicians.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to use that.
Put that on.
my
Put it
card.
on a koozie or something. A can of chili. He wanted to do a documentary on me for a little while, and I was like, you know what? Sounds like a good idea, but don't those guys usually die or go to rehab or end up in jail at the end of a documentary, and then they have to come back from something terribly tragic, you know? Like I wrote songs and I fell off a mountain, and then I came back to life, and amen. You know, I didn't have anything really tragic or anything, so I was kind of wondering about it, but it turned out really good, and I'm real proud of it. It kind of tells my whole story, if you will. From the standpoint of how I started and where I was up until the end of the documentary. You can find it on my webpage. I think probably the easiest way to get to it, but it's on YouTube and stuff.
I'll watch it. It's interesting.
It is interesting, isn't it?
All right, so I already mentioned that you are a police detective, so thank you for your service,
Oh,
especially
thanks, man.
in today's environment. So, police detective, how close have you become to quitting that and becoming a full-time musician?
Well, I did quit in 2013. I quit and I left for 2 years, and I just traveled around in a van. I bought a van and I turned it into a creeper van. Kind of van you'd see a guy selling winky winkies out of. Probably telling your kids to go back inside. He's coming down the road. I was that guy, and I traveled around for about 2 years, just playing gigs. And my thought was, right when all this kind of started, was I had a small chance, but I thought there might be a chance where I could really go out and find a whole lot of success really fast, make a ton of money, and everybody would know my name. And I'm proud to say that did not occur. But it almost did in some ways. But I did that for about 2 years, and it got to be where I just really wasn't doing anything but just kind of breaking even. And I had made myself a promise that if I ever got to a point where I was just felt like I was spinning my wheels and I was getting frustrated with it more than I was enjoying it, that I was going to either quit and go back to work, or take a break, or reevaluate the process and focus on what it is I really love doing. And so after 2 years, that's what I did. And now I mainly tour on weekends, and I'm working on these other projects, and I'm excited about that. That's really where my heart wants to be. I like playing music and whatnot, but I don't want to go do that all by itself full time all the time. I want to get into other people's music and help them along and whatnot. Because I'm a fan on top of everything else. And you can't be a fan of musicians and be a musician at the same time, unfortunately, because you can't go see your favorite show if you play the show all the time, you know, and it gets tough. But that's what happened over there. I went back to work about 1.5 years ago, and luckily I have a schedule where I can be off, you know, most weekends.
And speaking of other musicians, when I talk about you to other musicians, they're like, uh-oh. They always mention your uncanny ability to write a song on the spot.
Oh yeah.
So is that a natural ability, or is it something that you worked and trained yourself to do?
I used to be a gangster rapper back in back in 2006. No, I'm just kidding. I always listened to different kinds of music, and I'd listened to rap in high school, and we would kind of, as buddies, we would kind of get around and do what we call freestyle rapping, you know, and it was nothing you wanted anybody in the public to ever see or hear because it was terrible, but I had fun doing that. But mainly it came up, I think, in New Orleans when I played down there a lot, because people would come in, and everybody going to New Orleans, if you've ever been to New Orleans, when you get there, every time you go to New Orleans, if you're on a vacation or a social trip, it's an experience. And people don't want to show up and hear somebody just play the same stuff they could hear at their bowling alley back in Paducah, Illinois, or wherever. They want to hear something different. And so I started around playing around with people, making up songs about them. And I had people like, I don't know if I can say this on the air, but like Japanese tourists would come on a cruise ship and they couldn't speak English. And so I would tell them, I'll play you a song in Japanese, you know. And I would just go, I don't mind, you know, and man, people would just die laughing. I was like, well, maybe I'll just make up stuff for an hour, you know. And that's kind of how it started. And I don't know where it went from there, where it's really going, but it's something I kind of do now, standard, you know. It shows when I can fit it in. Doesn't work at church, though.
No. Can't rap at him.
It's hard to do that, you know. Amen. Hell yeah.
Are there any artists that you're currently collaborating with?
Yes. Yes and no. And I'm proud to say the ones that I'm not collaborating with are very vast. Yeah.
Oh.
Willie Nelson. Right now I got on Willie Nelson and what is his name? Trace Adkins, the country singer. Mm-hmm. Not working with either one of those guys. I've worked on a song with a buddy of mine named Donnie Brewer. It's just come out, and it's on iTunes now. It's called Skinny Beer. And I work kind of on a rotating basis with some buddies back home by the name of Double D, Taylor Craven, or some local songwriters I work with, kind of almost daily on something. And that's my main circle of writing friends right now. I've got plans to make plans with other writers, but it hasn't happened yet. It's tough when everybody's on the road all the time, you know.
Well, speaking of skinny beer, for the folks that don't know what skinny beer is, that's a skinny beer, low cal, low carbs, and it's skinnier. The actual can or bottle is skinnier, and that's kind of what the song makes fun of. Are you gonna play that one later, or you just?
I can play some of it. Yeah.
Well, you want to do the rap right now because you really don't need the
I
guitar
can.
for that.
I can.
All right, but you won't.
I'd be glad to.
Oh.
Sure. Do I have any kind of tracks or anything, or do I just have to make that up as I go?
It's all you.
Let's see here. Let me figure out a way to. Okay, we'll just go. You're listening to Eric Babin on Radio A1A, the station for crappy rappers. Hey everybody, I'm Matt HOGGATT, and try this skinny beer. Am I doing okay so far? I'm trying to set myself up for failure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, dude. Oh Jesus! It is broken.
For those listening on the radio, he just knocked his microphone over, but
Man.
he's a trained musician and knows how to fix it.
I'll tell you what, I've had some pretty disastrous things. That's one of them. Yeah. It was one time at band camp. All right, so I'm going to set this up before I do it so you guys know where I'm coming from with it. My buddy Donnie Brewer sent me this. We were kind of kicking back song ideas. I sent him an idea. He sent me an idea, and vice versa. And he sends me this idea for skinny beer. I can't remember how he got the idea, but I imagine it probably because he had probably seen me drinking one of these Michelob Ultras at one point.
The idea actually came from Lyle Wilson.
Lyle Wilson?
The Radio A1A DJ.
Well, thanks for ruining my whole plan.
Oh. Sorry.
Me and Donnie was in jail together, and they said, drink one or die. And we wrote this song. Amen. Okay, well that's the answer then. Anyway, we got to writing it, and I said, man, what'd be cool, man, is I could do some kind of little rap part in it. That's not ever been done before. And that might be the best idea we ever had, or it could be the worst. I'll let the listener decide when they hear the song. But basically, might be best if I narrate it in the voice of Morgan Freeman instead of trying to rap it. Does that sound like something we could do? All right. That's all I got on Morgan Freeman. Anyway, the basic gist of it is, it goes, well, let me tell you all something about skinny beer, getting drunker than a sailor when the coast is clear. California loves their gin and juice, but to drop a few pounds, you gotta cut it loose. I drank 20 beers at dinner last night. The 8-ounce cans had me feeling alright. I got a Michelob high, but my wife was nagging. Waistline skinning, but my pants are sagging. I used to kick back with the PBR, but the alcohol level got me feeling bizarre. Nowadays, nothing but the skinny will do. Watch me cut a little rug in a calorie or two. And everybody claps. It's hard to do without my posse here. They're all currently,
Posse.
incarcerated.
And we will play that recorded version at the very end of the show.
Cool, thanks,
All right.
man. I hope I did okay.
Outstanding.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, I'm here to help. All right, now, here's what I didn't give you in the notes that I sent you.
Good.
I'm going to mention a trop rock artist, and you're going to just tell me what comes to mind.
Is this like the ink blot test for alcoholics?
Pretty simple.
Butterfly. I'll start and you can catch up.
Tom Shepard.
Chainsaw. Oh, no, go. Start over again. I wasn't ready.
Tom Shepard.
Big tall people.
Big tall people. Britt Burns.
Little guy, big mouth. Quiet warrior.
Quiet Warrior. Donnie Brewer.
Oh man, I was looking at that cloud out there and I was thinking Neil Sedaka. I don't know. Donnie Brewer. Funny hats.
Taylor Craven.
Taylor Swift.
Okay. That game's over.
Okay.
I was talking to
Did you
Taylor.
really want me to give you some valuable input on them, or are you just looking for a random word?
Just random word.
Okay, cool.
Do you want some valuable input? Donnie Brewer.
Really nice. I can say something good about each one of those people if you like.
Say something bad. That'd be more fun.
Terrible. Okay. So the thing I like least about each one of them,
Sure.
Donnie Brewer, he has a real nice RV. That sucks.
Tom Shepard. Same thing, right?
Yeah, real nice hit song career there. That sucks.
Britt Burns.
Really talented, man. That sucks.
Sonny Jim.
Really, really talented. Can play the steel drums. I can't. That sucks.
Taylor Craven.
He likes Taylor Swift. That sucks.
All right, we're about to take a commercial break, and we're going to come back with about an hour and a half of live music with Mr. Matt here. One of the songs that I suspect you'll be playing is Workaholic in Recovery.
I've heard of that song.
Yeah. All right, I understand that you were stuck at one point, and I was talking to Taylor about this on Tuesday. You were stuck, and I think it was Island, what's the lyrics? Island, dang, now I can't remember. Intervention, Island Intervention.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What happened between the time you were stuck and couldn't come up with that, and then you went and did something, came back, and you came up with Island Intervention? Do you remember?
Oh, gosh, I'm trying to remember. Do you know the answer to that?
I do.
Give me a little bit of a hint. There's so many stories about everything. I wrote a story about using your restroom earlier. I can't remember.
Well, guess what? You just got it right.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
I went and used the restroom.
You went
and
to
I
the
came.
restroom, and then somehow you came up with
Yeah.
Island Intervention while you were...
Sometimes that's what you got to do to reset your mental mind. Is you just got to go hit the latrine and come right back. Got to flush that negative jive down the drain.
Another thing Taylor mentioned is that, remember I told you there was a song he wanted me to request?
Yeah. Now you didn't even tell me who it was that wanted to request it. You just said somebody.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, it's killing me.
You know what song it is yet?
I don't know.
Mess Without You.
Okay, cool.
So, if you can remember that one.
I can remember it, yeah.
Oh, cool, great.
That's great, man.
All
I
right.
love that guy. He's good people. You should check him out.
So, we're going to hit some commercials, and then you'll get your guitar. We'll do a quick